We're back. 2 weeks later.
And we're back! Time skip arc. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of The Questioning Hour by Freak Mode Media. I'm your host, Max Misdirection. We have over here resident comedy superstar
Matt DeFiore.
Andrew Potter.
The man, myth, legend, the producer.
Mm-hmm.
So we missed last week, and we haven't been posting regularly anyway. But we're getting
still
back
alive,
on it.
you know.
We're getting to it.
They have not deported us.
I was very sick for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I would love to get deported to Germany.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying to learn German. I'm really going to do it this time. I'm going to learn German and or Deutsch, and I'm going to escape this hell.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
I'm leaving this open air prison.
Why Germany?
Just because I have heritage there, and
Are you a Nazi, Nick?
Wow.
Am I a Nazi?
Are you a Nazi or
I
just
mean,
on the
I'm
spectrum?
statistically not old enough to be a Nazi. I was not alive during World War II.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, you're really excited about going to Germany.
Yeah.
And that means one thing.
Well,
Therefore.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? They hate that Germany, because they don't necessarily have free speech laws like we do. Like there's a lot of things regarding World War II you just can't say over there. Like it's not like they have to find that you're like colluding to do a crime. They can just arrest you anyway. So yeah, they're very much anti-Nazi in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Very much don't
Well,
like that
it's about
whole-
damn time, you know.
It's about damn time. I mean,
They let that stuff go for a while.
They conquered almost the entire world, and then they got shut down.
And they're
right?
like,
So-
hey, we got to cut this out.
cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
I was just minding my own business on Barton Springs one day, and this German kid came out of nowhere. He was super cool. He was like cycling across America, and he was super badass. But he did have that like self-confidence voice where he knew his ancestors killed a whole bunch of Jews.
Oh,
Really?
boy.
So he was like talking like, oh, I'm just minding my own business. Like, my grandfather killed some Jews. I'm gonna be super quiet.
Well, if his grandfather killed Jews, he should be in Argentina, right?
Yeah, makes
That's
sense.
apparently where all of them went.
Well, this
That's
will
where I'm
never
going.
air.
Yeah.
Good seeing you all on
We
the
always
questioning
air.
hour.
We always air.
Yeah.
We're much too lazy to edit around it. We're gonna air it.
I don't think people will care until we get like crazy amount of views.
And then
Well, I
demonetized.
mean, at some point, it's like, how you got to be able to talk about things. Like people are okay talking about Attila the Hun. That dude killed like, if you like adjusted the numbers for modern day, his body count would be in the billions. I mean, like the dude killed a ton of people.
I thought that was Genghis Khan, wasn't it?
Yeah, and wasn't Lex Freeman trying to
Yeah,
make a
just-
legitimate argument that he was like a good dude
He
or
just
something?
wasn't as bad as we
he
said.
was a
Yeah.
good dude. He's one of the forefathers of modern humanity. He was the catalyst that like transformed a lot of the world and shit.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan and Attila the Hun, all those guys. But no, it's funny. You read Chinese history. You go to the average Chinese military conflict. It'll read something like this: like Prince Wei Wo along for Princess Ming Mang. A
Prince
bloody
Wei
war
Mo?
ensued. 2 million people died. Like, that's like how they do. Like.
Yeah.
They would just kill people all the time. Like, I mean, obviously, like the French and the English and the Europeans would do it too, but just nowhere near on that scale. Like, they just never had that many people to just be murdering like left and right. So.
Yeah, they really do not like their own people for some reason.
They murdered the cats. They murdered the dogs. They fucked the geese.
Geese
Fuck
got
China.
fucked. You ever seen that weird old Chinese painting with like a geese like biting a kid's dick for
You mean
no
a
reason?
goose?
A goose, a geese, tomato, tomato.
2 different words.
You don't have to always correct me.
Sorry. It's not often that I get to.
Right.
Okay.
Well, there was that
Yeah,
funny.
but I
I didn't
have
even
to.
notice it until after. But when we had Mr. Skillion on here,
Mister.
Mister.
Mr. Skillion was on here, and he said, "I decided to create." I was like, You said 3 powerful words. You said, "I decided to create." And I was just like, all right. And Matt was over here like, "That's 3 words."
Yeah.
I was
turn off the
discounting
old
I.
scope.
I was easy. What I mean?
If you watch that podcast, I'm just dying quietly for most of it.
Yeah.
I'm like Andrew trying not to hack all over everyone who's sick, but I just was trying not to laugh.
Yeah. My brother did comment about when you shit on the Ford cars or whatever. I was like quiet for like 5 minutes because I just bought that Ford
Just bought a
Escape.
Ford.
I was like, fuck.
After
I-
we left,
yeah.
actually, I went and drove someone who was super like pro Ford.
Okay.
And that was really
That
funny
exists.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call them beta cucks, but yeah,
Wow.
they still exist.
Well,
Yeah.
good conversation. He tipped well. So.
Yeah.
I mean, well, they are cheaper than most cars, and people like the design and the interior. So, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't an invitation to shit on Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah.
So you guys are both Ford fans?
Not really. Like, I'm just okay with them.
I mean, I like Nissan. You can shit on Nissan.
I have a friend that's employed by Ford, so,
Okay.
you know.
Small town connection. I mean, I lived in a small town that was mostly held afloat by a Nissan factory. So
Okay.
it's interesting when you think about like all these like corporate allegiances you have are probably just because whether you remember it or not, like they gave somebody you knew a bag at some point or they helped the town function. I mean, there were basically like two places to work. It was the Amazon warehouse, and when they burned you out at the Amazon warehouse, you had the Nissan factory. And if you fucked up at the Nissan factory, you were never working again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I worked at Walmart, but
Are these earplugs? Oh, no,
those are filters
I was gonna
for a
pop
cigarette. You could pop them in your ear,
Might get a nicotine buzz. You never know.
but don't actually pop them in your ear. Oh, are you saying that your ears hurt? You need earbuds?
I just thought it'd be funny.
Oh yeah, pop them in. For those listening with audio only, Matt DeFiore is popping Premier cigarette filters in
Can't
his
hear the
ears
bullshit
now.
that flies around here
You can't hear
anymore.
a damn
What's up?
thing.
There's no target in that brain.
Yep. And also, if you're listening, go watch us. You're gonna want to look at these guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all wearing cool jackets today.
We're just a couple of cool guys.
Handsome as well.
Thanks.
But did you guys happen to hear about the disgrace and downfall of Nissan, actually?
No.
No,
Tell me about
what
it.
they do?
So they fucked a bunch of shit up, and they had a proprietary like engine drive technology called CVT in their engines, which mine has actually. It hasn't caused many problems, but in general, people hated it, and it was terrible, and it cost them like $1 bazillion. And then they had a CEO who I think he's now the CEO of Jeep, but he was over there in Japan, and he fucked up so bad they were straight up about to arrest him, and they sent the cops to arrest him, and this dude put himself in a box and mailed himself back to the United States.
What? What do you mean, put yourself in a box?
He put himself in a shipping container and
okay.
mailed himself to the United States.
That's one
You know
way
how
of
they
doing
do
it.
that.
No. That's a new one for me. Yeah.
But yeah, the company is they're basically about to be acquired by like Hyundai.
Mm.
And so yeah, Nissan is basically no more. So
One Hyundai P.
I would consider not buying a Nissan in the future if you want
Okay.
your car to be supported.
Yeah.
In the future. What about right now?
Ford.
Well,
What if I ran out and buy a Hyundai real quick?
right
Or
now,
Nissan.
call them up. I want 3 Nissans and an extra large.
Give me a
pepperoni.
3-son.
Nice.
This will never air.
Just gonna end up recording another episode after this episode.
Damn it.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to the news at all.
Yeah.
Ever since like Trump.
Ever since Big T got back?
Yeah.
You're not as interested now?
Yeah, I'm just like somebody more qualified as, in control. I don't have to like worry and stress.
I think a lot of people are like that. When their guy gets in, they're like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm not going to pay attention.
Right.
Then a few years later, they're like, what's everyone mad about? You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your guy, he ruined shit. He ruined it all. He said that not only is he going to revoke this trend of other countries stealing America's jobs, he's going to steal their jobs and give them to us. That's what he said.
I take your job. I take it up.
I drink your milkshake.
Yeah. One of the greatest
Donald
movies of all
Day-Lewis.
time. Yeah, Donald Day-Lewis.
Sorry.
Well, we live in an age now where you could deep fake Donald Trump into that scene. So, you could make that a real scene if you wanted.
Hey, link in the description for us making that video.
Have y'all messed around with OpenAI Sora or anything like that?
No.
And if I did, I wouldn't know. There's too many of them.
I heard it turns you
Yeah.
gay.
It probably does. But anyway, it's a text to video generator.
Okay.
So you can make video clips by typing in what you want. And, I don't know. I haven't played with it. They were hyping it up. They were making it seem like it was the end all be all. Tyler Perry canceled. He was going to do some renovations on his studio, and basically expand the scope of
Medea?
Medea himself was going to expand the scope of his studio, and apparently canceled. He was going to drop like $120 million on it, And after he saw that they were cooking up Sora, he canceled it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a funny like plot twist if like the Antichrist was Medea?
Yeah.
It
Like
wouldn't
like
surprise
the
me that
Beast
much.
was.
Did Medea have like a head injury
I don't know,
or a sty in one of her eyes?
but I like this idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Medea is the Antichrist.
Well, are y'all familiar with that? He's a really creepy looking dude. Oh man, I can't remember his name, and he's a pastor. He's basically hated by everybody.
Joel.
No, it's not Joel
That
Osteen.
doesn't sound right. Joel McHale?
No,
Oh, Joel Osteen.
No. He's
Austin.
a really creepy looking dude. Anyway, he has like a couple private jets.
Oh, I know who you mean. Yeah, that guy does look. I forget what his name is, but that
What
guy
is his
scared the
name?
crap out of me.
I would love to know what his name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Medea sold him those jets.
Really?
Yeah,
You asked yourself.
I did.
Don't ask me any more questions.
They'll bother me with it. I really want to know this guy's name.
If it's the same guy we're thinking of, I saw that guy go off at someone, like asking him why he had like so many like cars or something like that.
It's an
It was-
older
it was
gentleman,
creepy.
right?
Yeah.
Blue eyes.
Yeah.
White hair.
I don't know if it's white. I think it was like orange or something at this point, but it was
No.
creepy, man.
Huh.
Probably just like brunette.
Kenneth Copeland.
That sounds
Yeah.
right. Let me see.
I don't know if you can see that picture there. Very tiny little picture.
Yep, that's him.
That's him.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he he went off on a reporter a couple times
Yep.
because she was like, "Do you need to fly in a private jet
Right.
to go do your mission work?" And he's like, "Well, what do you want me to do? Sit in a metal tube full of demons?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm sorry, sir. Are you saying that people flying in coach are demons?" He said, "No, I didn't, and don't you ever say that I did."
He just said it. That's funny.
But no, he's true. It's not wrong. Like, I've come to think lately, the schizophrenia has told me lately that, a lot of these people are just demons. Like, whether they know it or not, right? Like, they're just so consumed by evil.
Mm.
And
And they don't even realize it.
no, they don't. They think that they're virtuous.
Yeah. Well, I think it can be extremely easy to think you're doing God's work and actually doing work for the other guy. You get a few things off.
Right. I think it's 2 Timothy verse 23 that says that in the end times people will essentially be brutes, having no compassion, having a love for violence, having a form of godliness,
Yes,
but
yeah.
being divorced from true godliness.
Right.
Always learning, but never coming to an understanding of the truth.
Yeah.
That's some deep shit right there.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that's crazy. We were talking about like basically all the new movies that have been coming out is it's that idea.
Yeah.
Like at what's the word that you used? There was like nihilism or
having
futile
having a form of God, never coming to an understanding of the truth.
yeah.
Yeah, or being divorced from godliness. That is the big thing they've been pushing for a long time. It's like, oh, what if the bad guys were good? What if the good guys did bad things? What if it's all relative? What if the same story from a different perspective was totally different?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Jesus, no shit. But at the same time, it's like, you really want people to live in that world where, like, you can never condemn anything as bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that wouldn't be good either.
No.
But isn't it like, I don't know if there's a verse, but it talks about how basically like Satan uses God's words but like twists them so you think you're listening to what God wants you to do but you're not, kind of thing.
There is definitely a verse that says something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I think it's around the same time that they mentioned that Satan believes in God.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
sure.
Obviously, he would have to, but Satan is like very familiar with God, fully understands God's plan and how everything works. He's just against it. So, I mean, if you were to have a theological discussion with Satan, he would know all the ins and outs. You know what I mean?
He would know his enemy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another phrase, because there's that classic, I don't know where it came from originally. I would like to know. But they used to say it to me all the time as a kid. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah.
Right? And also, if you know your enemy, you defeat your enemy, right? I believe that's Sun Tzu. And now the more modern vernacular is, well, if you truly know someone, then they can't be your enemy. Because when you truly know someone, you love someone. faults and all, which Christ may also have said something along those lines, but I don't think that's quite what he meant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like some people, you get to know them and you'll just learn like, nah, this is a bad person.
Right.
This guy is just bad.
This guy sucks so bad.
I don't like him.
Get him out of office.
No, it is funny. I really haven't heard. Obviously, the day that he was inaugurated, apparently Elon Musk was at the ceremony acting like a plumb fool, as per usual.
Well, Trump was like, "We're going to Mars," and he was like, "Yeah," and everyone like
We're
turned
going
around and
to
looked.
Mars,
Yeah. This place is screwed. We're going to Mars.
We're going to the God of War.
We're all going to be working for these people eventually.
I know.
So we can't be shitting on everybody.
We already work.
Like eventually we're going to be working for Elon Musk and Eric Prince and stuff.
Like I said, I think we already do work for them. I mean,
Yeah.
surely their stock portfolio encompasses several companies that we spend money on and have worked for. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, don't they like the same people that run like the funds for the police and like firefighter unions and stuff? They have money in there. Money's over here. Like the money ties everyone together. You know what I mean? And that's why that currency is so important. You know, it's like, oh, you have $100 in your pocket. You know, that's that's the government's money right there. It has a picture of a dead man on it. You know, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
But that is what really ties us together, because we don't live on the same street or the same zip code. We don't have as much of it, but we are generally spending the same money, aren't we?
We're on the same internet,
True.
mostly.
Yeah.
I have been thinking about getting Starlink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to spend like $250 on the box as like an investment, just to like show Elon that you really
Kiss
want
the
his
ring.
internet.
You're loyal.
Yeah.
You show him your loyalty, and then he bestows the box on you. But then
He
apparently,
drives to your house. And
Bro, I would be so tweaked if I looked out my little peephole.
Yeah.
Elon Musk
It
was out
is
there.
fucking, I don't know, purple Cybertruck
And he's
or
holding
some
a
shit.
sink, and inside the sink in the box, he's like, "Let that sink in." He just throws it through my kitchen window.
Dude,
I'm like,
will
Elon, what the fuck, bro?
I will be honest with you. Every time I see a Cybertruck, I'm looking for Elon
Yeah.
driving that thing.
It never is.
I
Well,
would-
no human
wouldn't that
would
be
choose
funny
to drive a Cybertruck, right?
if he's like rolling around in a Toyota Corolla? If I was Elon Musk, that's what I would be doing, just to get away from the
With
public.
a sink.
Yeah, because he's somewhere in this fucking town. He's
He is,
doing-
yeah. Allegedly.
He's honestly everywhere all the time. As soon as I hear he was over here, he is over there. You know?
It's hard,
It's
man.
funny
to keep
because
track
when I
of.
was living in California, he was running California, and then they bit the hand that fed. They didn't dick ride him enough, and then he said, "I'm going to Austin," and I'm like literally on a plane heading to Austin,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no.
Well, there is that guy that like tracks his jet too, right? You actually, we actually, I think you can find out where he is at like any time, because like apparently that's like public record, and
The flight
yeah,
trajectory.
so
of those
like
planes,
legally,
yeah.
like Elon like couldn't take it down. So what the guy was doing like wasn't illegal, but Elon was like trying to give him all kinds of crazy offers to like cut this
Stop
shit
doing
out
it.
and stop tracking him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever did. So,
Well, it's funny because you can track where the jets go, right? 'Cause
Right.
like they've done it to Taylor Swift. They showed her how much she's flown over the year, and it was mostly from like just like Rhode Island to somewhere else.
Yep.
But she flies all over the place in a
Yep.
private jet. But there's no guaranteeing that she was in the private jet, because if you know billionaires, like they have to like fly a certain number of miles on the plane every year for like tax purposes. So sometimes they'll just like send it up and have it fly around.
yeah.
And I'm sure he's got multiple planes, and I'm sure he's got at least one body double. Like, there's no way he doesn't have a body double.
Yeah, he does look different
Oh yeah,
in between sightings often.
he does.
You know.
They all do. It's a crazy thing. Like, and they treat it like it's a total conspiracy theory, and like you'd have to be retarded to give it any thought. But like, you pay attention, like actually watch their photos, and like sometimes they do look noticeably different. Like their hands will be bigger, they'll be slightly taller, slightly shorter. They walk slightly differently.
Slightly
like,
gayer.
yeah, sometimes they have a little swish.
Yeah, the only person that's going to sign up to be a body double is probably like a gay person, right? A theater major. Nothing against theater majors. But there's some straight people that studied theater.
No, there wasn't. Yeah.
Hey, I went to, I took some theater classes.
Yeah?
Too.
I used to be in theater.
I don't think I'm gay.
I was in Christian
I
theater.
don't think-
You don't think you're gay?
yeah.
How are you gonna find out?
I don't know.
How about I serve you up a nice fresh glass of tap water and see how you feel after that?
Yeah.
This will never air.
I'm not gay, man. It's just atrazine.
That's what they all say.
Yeah. So you went to like a Christian theater school or something?
I was at a Christian theater program, yeah.
Really?
What?
Me too. Yeah, I went to Christian Arts Academy in Houston.
Oh,
That's funny.
you guys are gayer than me.
We're gonna start rack and stacking gay points now.
Yeah. No, I was just, I forget, like, what was I doing? Pantomiming?
Oh, really?
Oh, that's pretty gay.
Well, that
Yeah.
seems heterosexual to me.
It is pretty gay. Yeah.
Acting like a straight person. Yeah.
No, it's funny. They mostly just did like secular performances.
Yeah.
It was, because I mean, who wants to watch a Christian play,
Christian play what? Sorry.
right? Unless you count Faust as a Christian play.
Yeah.
Probably. I didn't go to Christian school, but I was Catholic, and then I went and got a theater degree. So I don't know, throw the two together.
Yeah.
You have a theater degree?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, then you have no position to be talking to anybody.
I know. That's why I said I'm gay.
Yeah, speaking of Christian content, these Fathom events are getting out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have to catch me up on that.
Okay, the Fathom events is this weird, I don't know, distribution platform for a lot of
They
these.
do them all over. They did this in Chicago too. I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised they're doing them down here too.
Yeah, they're just so like milk toast, and there's like nothing interesting about these movies. I mean,
They're just playing old movies.
yeah, they're
again.
like they have good intentions, and they're trying to like spread the gospel and stuff. That's cool.
Not all of them are. I mean, there was
Yeah.
a Fathom thing that was just Die Hard in the movie theater, and I went. That was actually the first time I saw Die Hard was in a movie theater at a Fathom event.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. So I should
Yeah.
probably stop crapping on them.
John McClane, baby. Yeah.
But yeah, they do. Yeah, it's weird. They bring old shit back. I think I heard Pop Star was coming back in
Pop
theaters.
Star.
Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Oh,
The like Lonely
okay.
Island kind of, like apparently that's coming back. I had this Gen Z rider in my car the other day that was like, "Y'all want to go see Pop Star?" And I was like, "Is he talking about what I'm thinking? What I think he's talking about?" He's like, "Yeah." And he was talking to his friends. He's like, "Yeah, it's just came out like forever ago. It's like really funny. It's got Adam. No, not Adam." And I was like, "Andy Samberg." He's like, "Yeah, Andy Samberg." Like, so
He's
I don't know if
confusing
that's
his Israelites.
yeah.
He can't keep them together. Like, which one was it?
Yeah,
I
can't
don't
keep
know.
them straight.
Right.
I don't know.
That was actually a pretty good movie. I wish
I
that
didn't
the
see
music in it was better.
Oh yeah.
Because, they have they write pop songs.
Mm.
It's kind of like a Get Him to the Greek type
Wait a
of thing.
minute. I actually did see this, and I just basically forgot about it. If I'm being honest, but I did see
It's
it.
probably for the best because it was a pretty terrible movie.
Yeah. Well, Gen Z likes it apparently. So.
Well,
He also liked that I was playing the Beatles in the car. So,
You're welcome.
which yeah,
You're welcome.
props to this man.
Yeah. It works. It
It does.
usually loosens up everyone's pocketbook.
Tame Impala. I don't know if that was somehow depressing. I thought it was light and cool, but
It gets people in their head.
maybe.
Yeah, all that psychedelic stuff.
it's just
Okay.
depressing how boring and repetitive it sounds. That's
Yeah,
what it is,
that could be it.
Boom, boom, psh, boom, boom. It's just depressing how it sounds like Ableton featuring Ableton.
Mm. Well, the Beatles. If you're out there, Beatles, thanks for the tips.
I want to cut myself. Boom, boom, boom.
Is this
boom,
your
boom,
Tame
boom,
Impala?
Boom, boom. I want to put my head in the stove. Boom, 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 psh, boom, boom.
Let
know
it
that one.
happen.
And I can't tell you truth.
I'm sad now.
Well, good job. Nick.
Honestly, I mean, don't talk to me about music unless you want me shitting on people. I'll shit on all of them.
Shit's on phones. Shit's on.
Yeah. I didn't bring up Tame Impala.
This guy did.
It is my fault.
Nah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Females love Tame Impala.
Do they?
Females
Yes.
are crazy
Yeah.
about Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Huh.
The amount of times I've had a female say, "Well, you should try to make music that sounds like Tame Impala."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why would I do that? First of all, he already made it.
Mm.
Second of all, like he shouldn't have made it in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is this generation's sex god.
Is he?
Really?
I have no
Yeah.
idea what he looks like.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. It's gonna be Beatles for the bros.
He looks like
and-
you.
Oh, okay.
He does?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sounds like a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now you're coming around, huh? Is that what it took?
Now that you said
Yeah.
he
Tame
looks
Impala,
like me,
actually the greatest.
I was wrong about Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Nah, it kind of fucked up because it's so easy to shit. Obviously, his music is good. I mean, it's well-made music. It's not my style, you know.
Right.
But that falls into, and also I just heard it too much.
Yeah.
Jesus.
See, I basically heard of him for the first time like maybe a month ago.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I heard the name. But I just hadn't heard like the music until like a month ago, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty nice. And so, yeah, tried it in the Ubers, and I got some tips. More so from broads. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think females are big on Tame Impala.
Now we know.
I feel like libtards really like the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And boomers.
Yeah.
You can't play guitar with a boomer without them playing, what was that, Day Trip?
Hey,
Jude.
Day Trip.
You know? You familiar with that one?
A little bit, yeah.
Play it again. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding. Okay, no.
Oh, dude, you made Brooke so mad when you shit on the Beatles in front of her.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
dude, and she like pulled me aside. She was like, "Fuck him, fuck Nick."
Fucking hate
She
that
has
guy.
a tattoo of all the Beatles.
Nobody
on
told
her
her to get
And
that.
he just like he saw the tattoo and he's like, "Fuck the Beatles." You're evil, dude. You're fucking evil.
Well, I don't like tattoos.
Oh, okay.
I'm really not a tattoo fan.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, it's at the point now where it causes me a little bit. It's just disappointment. Like if I see somebody has a tattoo, I just feel vaguely disappoed.
Yeah?
I'm
You
just
don't have any
like,
tattoos?
I have no tattoos.
I don't either, man. I think we're
I'm not
weirdos
a
out here.
tattoo.
Everyone's got tattoos.
Yeah. Well, they pushed it pretty hard. The
Yeah.
institution was pushing tattoos really hard. I mean, they started putting in movies, music videos.
People at the store started to have them. I was
Yeah.
like, I know what you're doing.
I know. I see. I know what kind of name you are.
I'm trying to buy some soup.
Well, it's funny
You're wearing
'cause
a tattoo.
People don't remember now, but when Post Malone first came out, he had tattoos, but he did not have face tattoos.
Oh yeah, face tattoos are definitely in poor taste. Absolutely, you should not have a fucking tattoo.
Don't do it.
on your face.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then he just started to get more and more face tattoos, and then it got to be like every rap artist, every artist period. If you wanted to be a pop artist, you had a face tattoo. I think even Justin Bieber got a face tattoo.
Yeah, actually, that sounds right.
He's like one of the most famous musicians in the modern age, and he got a face tattoo.
We could look him up, but we're not gonna.
Nah,
No.
I'm not gonna dignify that.
I keep thinking I'm hearing like a squirrel or something in that tree, and it's the
Yeah, it's a cigarette filter. in
I'm
your
literally
ear.
hearing
In your
shit.
Let's
ear.
hope we can get that out of your ear. By the
I
way.
hope so. I am the
I'm gonna
cigarette.
jam it in there when you're not looking.
Don't light me on fire and get high on me.
So when you blow smoke out your ears, right?
I do want to smoke
That's
that
not where I blow
earwax.
smoke from.
Give it a little extra flavor.
Gotta get this out of my ears with your mouth.
What if we discovered you could reduce earwax by putting a cigarette filter in your ear overnight?
Well, we're gonna find out.
Letting the earwax absorb into it.
A sorp.
Absorb
Absorb.
into it.
Yeah.
Nick,
I like a
every now and
sorp
then,
more.
Every now and then you sound like JFK.
Yeah.
My head hurts. Let it absorb into it.
Yeah. Who did this?
Who did this?
We won't know until 2025.
President Donald
does he
Trump
speak
will
that
release
way?
the files.
Where did my brains go?
What kind of accent is that? Like, where does that come
Is
from?
that Woody Harrelson's father on the grassy knoll right there?
Don't do that again.
That was a bad joke.
Well, he was Massachusetts. I think that must be some sort of 1960s New England accent, I guess.
You know, some sort of rich person talk.
Yeah. Congratulations. How do you feel? That's what I always hear JFK and Forrest Gump.
It is funny that all rich people in the public eye tend to talk the same way, right? Because you think about like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Sam Altman.
Non-regional diction.
They kind of all look the same and talk the same, don't they?
Yeah, they're all curly-headed fucks.
Yeah.
Except for Bezos, who got no hair.
Well, yeah. He just wanted to look like Lex Luthor. He could afford hair.
Yeah.
He could make them give him back his hair if he wanted to. He has the money.
Yeah.
They just told him, nah, you got to be bald, diggy dog.
That whole thing with him at the inauguration and all the tech guys there, that was weird. That was funny.
Yeah, it pisses me off a little bit, to be completely honest.
Yeah?
Fuck Sam Altman and Larry Ellison. Fuck those guys, dude.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be like financing a government artificial intelligence program. called Stargate. I just don't trust it.
Send it back.
Yeah.
Well, they've been planning for a long time to have an AI because the FBI and the CIA, they essentially have like warehouses as far as the eye can see, like miles and miles of warehouses, and inside these warehouses are just like little 10 gigabyte or 10 terabyte cards, and each of them is just full of data, like text messages, emails, phone transcriptions, browser history.
Right.
It's essentially more data than any human could
I
ever.
built some of those in HP back in
Did you?
Houston.
The 10 terabyte hard drives?
I don't know. I was just a material handler.
Yeah.
But
Well, you helped them, but yeah, essentially the plan has always been like eventually, because back in the day when they were talking about this was like 2005. They didn't say AI because that was not the buzzword they were using at the time, but they wanted to eventually have a supercomputer with a sufficiently advanced algorithm that could compile and basically make sense of this data. So if then they could give it a person, they'd be like, oh well, we're wondering what's up with Andrew Potter. Like, would Andrew Potter project if he would ever have been at this place or would ever do this? And then the AI, which is just a buzzword, the computer would essentially run all this data, and they'd be like, 30% yes, 70% no, or any variation of that. I mean, I'm not in law enforcement, but no, they've been waiting for AI for a long time. And like I said, AI is just a buzzword. It's just an algorithm. There's no intelligence there, but
We're going to rename AI to fake thoughts. They're going to have the fake thinking come and do this. Hey, American Spirits, thanks for sponsoring. What were we talking about?
yeah. Speaking of, we have no American Spirits today.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've got our American Spirits.
Thanks.
That's who's sponsoring the podcast, is our American
Fuck yeah.
Spirits.
Yeah.
breaking news: area men so broke they can't buy American Spirits.
It's so bad.
No, I'm just choosing not to smoke cigarettes.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah, I'm definitely not broke.
Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not broke because the vapes are more expensive than
Yeah,
cigarettes.
this is $20.
Yeah.
It'll last you 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, maybe it might last me like a week or something.
Okay.
It's funny how often they talk about just the rampant corruption and waste of materials, but nobody has talked about how like every vape is like got a battery, it's got like a USB port, it's got buttons, it's got coils, it's got a tank, and there's like a lot of materials that go into those vapes.
Everything that fish loves, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard some people say they make a career out of just finding vapes thrown on the ground, and then they turn them in, and I guess you can make a little money. So
They call it vape scraping.
I don't know what they call it. I couldn't possibly put my mind into that brokey mentality.
Nice, okay. You know what I was realizing, though? Okay, so I used to work at a call center like 10 years ago, okay? And people would just call in and they'd be fucking irate, And I just remember, and then I worked in like restaurants and stuff, and, I just remember people being a lot like angrier back then in general, and it would kind of put me on edge as far as like who I was working with, like who was going to be like just like irate and impossible to like deal with, that day. And I've noticed I see less of that these days. Even when I'm driving Uber, like I had a guy who was just going off, but he was like, I picked him up at the hospital and like he had like legit like stuff going on. But other than that, I do truly feel that people are more docile these days.
Oh, 100%.
And even when they're angry, you can't really tell. I don't see people that are going off and like obviously making a scene like I used to anymore, which I find really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like mental health has gotten worse, but somehow I do think like it used to be a conspiracy theory, like, oh, they're trying to dope us and all this stuff, but we really do have so much stuff that dopes us out. Even if you're broke, even if you're angry, you can still pull out your phone that you might have even gotten like for free, go on YouTube for free and watch whatever you want for free.
It's true.
Yeah,
no, I think it's a great way to pacify people, and it's very interesting. And like, I got on it late. I didn't start using Instagram until 2021. And of course, I don't use it anymore because it's just a nightmare.
Well, good for you, Nick.
I mean, I would just encourage everybody to quit it. Like, I would quit Instagram before I quit methamphetamine.
Yes.
I mean, it is a
We're going to keep doing meth.
drug.
But we're done with the.
But no, I think it's between the 5G, the water supply, and the chemtrails, or maybe just like the mass hypnosis that they subject us all to. Like, because every movie, every reel, every book, every song is basically designed to manipulate your thinking in some way. You got to remember that the popular music, the music that they allowed to be popular back then was more aggressive too. Like when I was a kid, like Disturbed was really popular.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people like forget what that means. Like, well, of course Disturbed is popular. People go see their concerts. I listen to their music. I'm like, no, it's different. Like they were in commercials. They were on posters. Like you would see them. You would hear them. If you were going around, it's like how Post Malone and like Sabrina Carpenter is now. Back then it was like hard rock bands, and they were generally singing about like murdering someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but at the time, right, they were whipping us up to go into war in the Middle East. People forget this too. The media was whipping us up to go into the Middle East. They're like, look, if you don't want to retaliate for this, then you're a pussy, basically. Like they did 9/11. They killed 3,000 Americans. What are we just going to sit back? We got to get over there. We got to get over there right now. And it's like record conscription. Like after 9/11, that terrible attack, there was record conscription. Like for decades, they hadn't seen so many people voluntarily sign up into the armed services. And it was such a significant attack that they changed their entire benefits package. So they had what was called a Montgomery General Infantry Bill for education. They changed it to the post 9/11 General Infantry Bill. So this was a very significant event, and it happened to help people feel a certain way. And events now happen to help people feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Oh, I can't believe there was an oil spill. Oh, I can't believe that the train went off the rails and poison gas got released. Oh, it just makes me so sick. I'm so frustrated. Gosh, am I ever going to get a win? Are we ever going to, you know what I mean?
This is how Nick sounds if you see him in his place on his own. Just walk in, that's what you're going to hear. Man, I'm just so frustrated.
You did sign up though for the military.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what got me?
They got you.
It was Star Trek.
It was Star Trek?
I was a big fan of Star Trek. I said I want to check that out.
Final Frontier, baby.
Yeah.
And now I can't watch Star Trek.
That is a weird TV show to get excited about the United
Right?
States military.
Well, but it's not as weird as you think.
Damn propagandists.
Gene Roddenberry.
I was watching Lost the other
creator of
day.
Gene Rodman?
Gene Roddenberry was a
Roddenberry.
United Service. He was a service veteran.
And he
Oh.
made the TV show?
He made the TV
Oh,
show.
okay.
Yeah, he
he
did.
was the mastermind behind it.
Yeah.
And again, it's like the more you start to like delve into this shit, it's like, well, what are the odds that like this random man just created this show and it became this massive sensation and it like rewrote like public perception of like space programs and because they portray the military as like they have all these ultimate weapons, but they're ultimately like a peaceful communist entity, right? Like because in Star Trek, right, you don't have to work for anything. Like if you don't want to work, you don't have to do shit. Like you can print food. They'll build you a house for free. Like they just pursue like reading and
Those
art,
damn commies, man.
athletics, stuff like that. And then if you want more
That sounds
adventure,
pretty good.
Right?
yeah,
I should have voted for Biden.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't. You had to vote for Kamala.
Oh,
but,
And of course, you know the Federation will allow any species to serve. Like they have every alien that and they have androids in there.
Yeah, that's where I like signed out. It was too many aliens to keep track of.
it gets a little
Weird
ridiculous.
looking faces.
Yeah.
I hear it's a smart show. I don't know. I've never seen it.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the
I liked
smartest
it.
dumb show you'll ever watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like how we're the smartest dumb people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you actually raise a good point though about now I'm connecting dots. I wish I wasn't, but like I love metal music and hard, heavy, dark stuff, and
That's good shit, yeah.
and that's just kind of my thing. But like people don't usually see me really get angry, so I don't know if I really stay true to this. But like you're right, metal used to be more popular, but also people used to be more angry back then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was messing with them,
Hmm.
And now we got this ultra, dumbed down, overproduced, poppy, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande type thing.
Well, antidepressants, back to your original point, doesn't dissolve in water. So like it's in the tap water.
That's
So
true.
like it's like all these crazy liberal people peeing out their antidepressants and stuff. You're drinking that. It's going back into the water supply.
You're also drinking methamphetamine.
Right?
That's why it's so good.
Yeah. But methamphetamine at a very low dose can also make you quite passive and docile. So.
Yep.
But there's also more weed. Smoking weed is way more popular now. I think people tend to forget, like, because for a while it's like, well, yeah, we've always just smoked weed all the time. And I thought back and I was like, no, now that I think about it, we did not always have access to super clean, super strong weed. We would have to like go to some shady guy, and like sometimes he would get arrested, or like sometimes he had some dog weed shit or something terrible.
Yeah, but I miss those days though, because the weed is way too fucking strong now.
It is. Yeah.
It makes you like geek out.
I definitely recommended people not smoking that shit.
Yeah.
But but I think it does pacify people, and it makes them like super anxious. I think if you're super anxious, it's hard to get super angry because it would just explode into fear. You know. So when because sometimes I'll get a little high. You know what I mean? And if you start raising your voice in public, like these people, like they'll be like genuinely scared. They'll be like, you know what I mean?
And then they'll film
that.
it.
The waiter at Alamo Draft House when we were watching Heretic. You got a little berserk on her, dude.
No, but I did. But she was acting like I did. But I was just like, hey, we ordered these wings, and it's been like a long time, longer than usual.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, we just
kitchen's gay.
The kitchen. She said something to those effects. She was like, well, it can take a while to prepare them because we make them from scratch in house. I was like, I track on that. But here's the thing, I've ordered.
No,
them
they
many
don't.
times.
Not when I worked at Alamo.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah,
I was like, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying I come here all the time, and they're usually out within 10 minutes. So what's going on? The movie's like rolling now.
Yeah,
We're like 25, 30
yeah.
minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
And she's like terrified.
It was super loud, dude.
Oh,
It was just like, yeah.
Nick was that guy.
Right.
You were in that showing, and you heard someone bitching about
Hugh Grant
how
was
long
being-
wings are taking, and they weren't made from scratch. This is your fucking guy. He ruined
Yeah.
Mission Impossible Part 7. Okay.
Yeah. Which I'm super stoked for, by the way.
Yeah. The second one to the
Fuck yeah,
to
dude.
the second
I love
part to
those
the
movies.
8th part or whatever
Right,
the
yeah,
hell
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation
Yeah,
2 Part 3.
Every time I watch that movie, I just want to join the U.S. military.
Then it's working.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
There goes Nick. Yep. That was the plan.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about the water.
I might get laid if I join the U.S. military.
You probably would get laid.
And about those wings.
Yeah.
Lucy, if you're out there.
Yeah, it was that movie Heretic, and it was like super creepy. And
Queep?
I can't fucking talk, dude. I've been sick for 2 weeks, dude.
That's what I'm hearing about yours, little queeps.
My brain is not working. It's full of mucus.
Queep, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't curse on this channel. We don't want to get demonetized.
Oh yeah, shit. We
This
got to
is
be
a
more
God
Christian.
cast.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Jesus.
No. No.
No.
This will never air.
Yeah.
I sent an episode of this podcast to my mom, and she didn't respond.
Yeah. I am really nervous about my parents
Nick,
finding
your mom
out.
hasn't responded to you in like
Yeah.
4 years, dude. It's got nothing to do with that.
My poor little dad.
He's like,
Yeah.
son, I heard you say some bad words
I
on that
would
show.
feel terrible if he found out I was doing this. He's such like a beautiful, like sweet and present person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna see your
He is the
degeneracy in
best.
4K.
It's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
from not living terminally online. I'm telling you, living terminally online, man.
It will terminal you.
It will. Well, these kids, they're all so depressing. All these Gen Zs, like,
You know, it's funny. We were talking about how college kids like don't have like personality or like
Yeah.
the ability to talk these days, and then it was like a night or two after that, I think I like picked up this like college chick who was actually like really good at talking, and I was like, well, fuck my stereotypes, I guess. So
Yeah. There's always an exception, I guess.
Yeah. Then there was this corporate guy I picked up who was just like, I'm not going to get into it, but just the like, pretty much all the bad like corporate white guy stereotypes.
Yeah, fuck him, dude.
Well, but what was so
That's
funny,
what I was saying a couple pods ago.
what was so funny was like, yeah, I mean, he was all right, but at the end of that ride, I was like, oh, he's not going to, I'm like, that guy's going to give me like 4 stars or something too. Like, he's not even going to give me like the 5 stars. And I woke up the next day and I was like, okay, I don't think he did that, but I didn't get a tip, and I don't really know what he thought. And I was telling someone, I was like, oh yeah, this guy was like a pain in the ass last night, you know, and I'm like, there's no way he's gonna tip me. And then like by the time I got home, he had like tipped me. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, fuck my stereotypes, I guess. So
Yeah.
stay
Well,
woke,
that is the
fam.
thing, like with rich people. I know you're saying something beautiful about humanity right
Yeah.
now, but I'm gonna shit on it.
Okay.
I mean, rich people, they feel like they can pay off people in a way too.
Yeah.
So, sort of gives them a right to do whatever they want to do.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, his ego is paying my bills, so.
Okay.
Well, I've often told people that to me, and I'm not the one who came up with this. There's been a number of like papers and dialogues on this, but to me, being nice is like a logical. I don't believe in evolution, but it's a logical societal development. You know what I mean? Because you take like a hobo that's got nothing. You know, he's on crack. He'd be like, "Fuck you, bitch! I hate, I'll rape you, bitch! You're gonna walk this way!" And like people just pay no attention to him because it doesn't matter. But if that dude had like millions of dollars and was in a tuxedo, all of a sudden you're like, "Hello, yes, I just got terroristic threats.
Yeah.
Yes, I do want to press charges.
Yeah.
Yes, I do want to sue for emotional damage.
If you can if you can get a tux, you can be on the news.
Yeah, because I mean, once you have things, if you have something, then you immediately realize like, oh, I have something, and these other people don't have it, and I don't want them to be envious. Which is why like you'll go like see an awesome musician. He just shredded on some blues or something. You're like, hey man, that was great. He's like, oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? They have to feign some humility here because you're not going to be their fan if they're like, well, yeah, I'm just a million times better than you, and you suck. You'll never be as good as me. Like that's the reverse way to do it. Like you make it seem like anyone could do what they had done if they were the right person, right? So yeah, I mean, if you're rich, yeah, I mean, you better be tipping people. I mean, you better be polite. I mean, if you're going to be. I don't think it's like, I mean, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like he was just not playing that bullshit. And I mean, what did he do?
Yeah, well, no, he just, yeah, it was funny. He like got in at first. He was complaining about like the Uber drivers that don't speak English or something. And I was like, okay.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
But then he was like, hey, what's that strip club up north? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, all right. And then like, we actually kind of started to have like a decent conversation. And then, yeah, I don't know. He just like went off, and then there was a bunch of like speed bumps that kept like, I would turn a corner and there'd like instantly be a speed bump, and I'd take it like kind of hard. And he said something that made me think like, is he mad at me or is he mad at the speed bumps kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then like I let him out, but just the like general vibe was like, you know, like I'm saying, like kind of like corporate like douchebag.
He's above you.
Yeah,
He's more
kinda,
important than you.
Yeah, kind of thing. Or even if it wasn't me, just like a general kind of outlook on life of like, you know, whatever, I can do what I want, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
And I was like, and that's why I was like, yeah, I don't know, he's probably gonna ding me for the speed bumps or something. And then, like I said, I got well reviewed and a nice little tip. So,
You know what I just realized? We all have blue eyes. When you were telling me that story.
tune in next week. It was like that uninteresting. You're like, what color eyes do we have? Nick's got blue. Pat's got blue. Oh, okay. Hey, by the way, I'm gonna wait for him to finish talking, and then okay. Sorry. Back to my point.
But yeah, fuck that guy.
The eyes are blue.
I mean, honestly, I would probably be exactly the same as him. I remember I took an Uber like one time in the city, and it was coming from the airport when I first landed in the city before I picked up my car. And I'm pretty sure I did just complain the whole way. I was like, where are the buildings? I was like, where is anything?
Where them buildings at?
What is this
Where'd
place?
you move here from?
California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, Texas is ugly by any standard, but I mean, by the standards of California, it's just hideous. So it is what it is. But I've gained an appreciation for Texas.
Yeah, I love your opinion coming from California.
Of his state.
I definitely value your opinion.
With your blue eyes.
Let me go write that down. Nick, the Californian, said this about Texas.
Well, it's funny 'cause I'm a Tennessean, and Tennessee is a lot less ugly than Texas.
Yeah.
Texas is just an ugly place. Here's the thing: is Texas just doesn't value nice things. That's all there is to it. Like,
doesn't value nice guys.
let me ask you this: where are the historical buildings in Austin, Texas?
There's one.
The Alamo.
Yeah.
they don't build anything worth looking at. They build with the plan to tear it down within 20 years. Like that, you drive the countryside in Tennessee, you're looking at like these nice, like it looks like England or some shit. It's beautiful. All these like nice old sheds. They're like 100+ years old. They're still beautiful. Like stones and shit. Like it's just a very scenic place. Like you drive through Texas and it's just like shacks. It's like these little shanties.
Yeah.
And like these ugly little like roads and like there's no grass and it's just nothing. It's like just hideous. It just makes you go, you know? And Texas just does not value nice things. Then like you go to a nice park, you're like, wow, this is such a nice park. I wonder why they never built any stairs. You know, why did they never build any picnic tables?
Well, you know what? Why don't you just move to Tennessee now? Take your car and get out of here.
This is always how it goes.
Son of a bitch. This motherfucker.
Yeah.
The questioning hour, questioning why he's still in Texas.
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
Next week there's going to be new co-hosts. So Andrew's,
But
this is
dressed
not
like
Andrew's
us.
backyard anymore.
Dressed like us.
They've got to have blue eyes.
Hey,
though.
Larry,
yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're in Tennessee. This is Billy Bob.
Yeah.
Over here we got Billy Jean.
He's not my lover.
All right, let's see how many minutes we're at.
Andrew's like, get this over with.
Oh, it's 51.
Okay.
You guys happy with